Welcome back to the Steve Gruber Show. You know, we have certain things we've come to believe in America. Like when you dial 911, somebody answers the phone, and if you're having a true emergency, somebody will be sent to help you out. Maybe it's a medical emergency, maybe it's a legal problem, could be a variety of things. But you call 911, beep, boop, boop, and you think somebody's going to show up. Well, good luck if you're in certain places in this country. My next guest, Dr. John Lott, president of the Crime Prevention Research Center, crimeresearch.org, a place you can do more research on your own. He joins me now. Doctor, good to have you back.
It's great to be on. Thank you.
You live in Montana. You call 911. How long does it take?
I think it's about 8 minutes in Missoula.
Yeah, that's probably about the same where I am. I'm out in the country a little bit, but we've got a couple of firehouses and, ambulance places not too far from where I am. I figure 10 minutes or less. But if I'm in, say, New Orleans, how long does it take?
Well, the average response time for 911 calls is only 3 hours.
Oh, 3 hours.
If it's an emergency where the criminal is literally right there, they could get it. They got it down to 36 minutes for those last year.
Oh, I see. 36. So, what if you're having a heart attack? Just throw that out there. I mean,
Right.
3 hours, no big deal, right? Heart attack, you'll be fine. How did we end up this way?
We ended up this way because of cuts in police budgets. We've ended up this way in many places across the country because you've had retirements, police leaving because of the job restrictions that they face. But, it's not too surprising, given these problems, that people aren't reporting violent crime to the police as frequently as they used to. As we talked about last week, there's been this huge drop in the rate that police have had crimes reported to them. People, if they don't think something's going to happen, if they don't think that they're going to be able to get a response from the police, if they don't think there's going to be an arrest that's going to be occurring, why are they going to go and bother reporting crimes to police? So, you look at arrests for all violent crimes, reported and non-reported, for cities over 1 million, you're down to 8%. If you look at property crimes for both reported and non-reported to police, you're down to 1% of property crimes resulting in arrest. And it really calls into question a lot of the FBI crime data that's there, where people are just looking at the number of reported crimes. There's a reason why the FBI crime data on reported crimes varies so dramatically differently than the national crime victimization data that we have, that indicates that, in fact, total crimes reported and non-reported have increased dramatically.
So, this is the game. We talked about this recently a couple of times. If you don't report the crimes or you don't keep track of the crimes, you just say, well, there's less crime. It reminds me of something. This will ring very true to you. You have National Weather Service offices around the country, or designated NWS services. About 3 or 4 years ago, the person in charge outside of Lansing, Michigan, died. It happens, right? The person in charge died. And so there was a period of time, about 6 weeks, in the dead of winter, where there was nobody manning the station, right? Nobody keeping track. And at the end of the winter, they reported a snowfall that was significantly less than I knew had happened. And I called a local meteorologist. I said, how is that possible? He goes, well, there was nobody there checking it, so they just record what they actually record. They left a 6-week gap in the middle of winter and then report snowfall of half of what it actually was for the whole winter. And then they talk about climate change. This is how twisted these numbers are. If people don't take good numbers, you get garbage results, right?
Right. Well, so even if you look at the FBI reported crime data and compare it to the National Crime Victimization reported crime data, there's huge gaps that are occurring. Even if you're just comparing reported crime as measured by those two different measures, you've had a huge, since 2020, their numbers have actually been going in opposite directions. So you've had this huge increase, according to the National Crime Victimization Survey, of reported crimes. But the FBI has shown that there's been a drop in the number of reported crimes to police. And so that raises questions about the quality of the data. And there's a couple big reasons why there's reasons to doubt the FBI measure. One is the fact that you have over 30% of police departments in the country which aren't reporting the data, kind of similar to what you were just giving with the National Weather Service. And so the FBI estimates what they think the missing observations are there, just like they kind of estimated what they thought the snowfall was without having to go out and look at it. And so that's one problem. And then the second problem is there have been reports that even the data that has been provided to the FBI has, for some unknown reason, reduced the number that they actually put in their report. So whether it's Baltimore reporting the number of murders that have occurred there, or Nashville, or other cities, you systematically, time after time, see the FBI is claiming that those cities are reporting fewer murders, fewer other types of violent crimes than those cities say that they're reporting to the FBI.
So how do you fix it? I mean, if no one's going to tell the truth, look, they make decisions based on these things. If you believe that snowfall is half of what it truly is, or if you believe that crime is half of what it truly is because you're not getting real numbers, you're just getting fake numbers. And that's what was so galling about the National Weather Service. They put it in anyway. Oh, yeah, that's the official number for the year. Even though it's totally wrong, that's the official number for the year for 2 winters ago. And if you do the same thing with crime statistics, how do you fix it if nobody's willing to even be honest about inputting correct data?
Right. Well, I mean, there are real concerns about the politicization of FBI crime data. And so the way you fix it is by kind of mixing up and stirring up the employment that you have for people there and letting them know that, you have to fix these problems. You can't accept having such huge differences in these numbers, and you can't accept them not, we've seen these types of estimation problems before. You look at something like the census. The 2020 census, the census later admitted that they made mistakes in 8 states. All of them were in favor of the Democrats. The Democrats, because of mistakes in the census, picked up 8 congressional seats that should have gone to the Republicans. So
right, and how important would that be today? How important would that be today?
Right. So the Republicans right now are down to, I guess, 1 seat margin in the House.
Something like that.
If they had 8 more seats, or maybe 2, but in any case, they'd have either 9 or 10 seats there. And earlier, when they had a 5-seat majority, it would have been 13. I assume that would make a huge difference in terms of just how well they're able to function in the House there.
Yeah. It's sad that, what's sad to me, John, is that there's so many dishonest people out there. That's what's sad to me. I have to leave it there.
Well, mistakes can happen.
Mistakes
can happen, but mistakes can happen.
Mistakes can happen, but
when they're so systematically in one way,
yeah,
it raises real concerns.
Yeah, it's just dishonest. You call it for what it is. It's dishonesty. They're putting their thumb on the scale. Dr. John Lott, President, Crime Prevention Research Center. If you want to read more articles like this about what the truth is about the world that we live in today, go to crimeresearch.org. You can find out a lot more. John, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate it. And you can find out more about this program. Re-listen to this interview if you'd like on the podcast. You can do that all at stevegruber.com. stevegruber.com. I'll be right back.